Hey guys, today we're at the shop in downtown Seattle to do an upgrade I've wanted to do for a very long time. So let's head back to the shop and tackle a fender chop. For this, I've turned to Infinite Offroad for their DRL Fender chop kit. Inside the box, you get some nice goodies from the brand like these magnetic koozies, and of course killer stickers. I really like this one. Next, you'll find all of the necessary hardware, some helpful tips, and inside of a second box, you'll find the wiring harness and turn signals themselves. Loving the smoked lenses, and these appear to be super high quality, and they should be because Infinite Offroad gives you a 25-year you break it, we replace it unavoidable warranty. Okay, so let's get these installed. First, we need to remove the 3 bolts in each fender well using a 10mm socket. Next, remove the 5 plastic clips that are holding on the fender inner liner. You can use a trim removal tool to get under the plastic clips and pry. Now we're ready to remove the fender liner. I'm replacing mine with a set from Combat Off-Road, but if you plan to reuse yours, be sure to keep these clips. Disconnect the turn signal wiring harness by pressing the red locking tab and squeezing to pull the 2 pieces apart. Now, remove 2 10mm bolts in order to loosen up the factory fender supports. 1 bolt is hidden in a rectangular U cutout. Now we can just pull the fender off the body as it's connected using these plastic tabs. I'm going to try to save as many of these as possible by using a set of pliers, but you're probably going to break a couple. And just like that, the fender is off. Next, we need to remove the turn signals themselves. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove this set pin. Now, we need to remove 3 T30 screws that fasten the fender light to the support brace and to the fender itself. Next, remove the clips that hold the wiring harness in place. Remove the lower shield under the turn signal and pull firmly on the turn signal itself to remove it from the fender. It's held down with double-sided tape, so just be firm. Here you can really see how much more streamlined these lights are. Next, remove the inner liner of the fender by pulling the 2 pieces firmly apart. They're held together with plastic rivets, so just be careful not to wrinkle your fender paint. Warning, some adult language coming here. And just a reminder to always cut away from yourself during this next step.
Oh shit, oh shit.
I got a few stitches, but let's cut off the rest of these locking tabs that once held the outer and inner fender flares together. Next, I'm going to replace any of the fender mounting tabs that I broke taking the fenders off earlier. And now we just need to clip the fender back onto the body. Already looks way better, but we need a turn signal and a support bracket for this fender. Loosely position and install the fender chop bracket into position above the 2 body supports. Using the supplied hardware, secure the bracket to the vehicle. Adjust the light so it lines up with the fender and tighten it down. Now we can connect the wiring harness to the light and the factory plug. And after a little bit of cable maintenance, we're all set. The final step is mounting these adhesive brackets to the inside of the fender and the top of the light for additional support. You can clamp these down if you'd like, but they seem to be holding really well. And just like that, our fender chop is complete. But come on, let's see those lights. The sequential turn signals are awesome, even wrapping all around the edge of the lights. And if you're running a taser like me, you can even make the daytime running lights be amber. The white looks great too, but keep in mind it's going to be slightly dimmer than your stock headlights with the smoked lenses. So that's it guys, loving these Infinite Offroad lights. Thanks for watching and be sure to like and subscribe.